I am Kirsten Myers. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Special Education and Student Services at Kent ISD, and I'm going to show you how to utilize supplementary aids and services within your IEPs. Under IDEA, our federal rules and regulations, we're obligated to determine what supplementary aids and services are needed for our students with disabilities to access the general education curriculum and environment. Additionally, our students with disabilities should not be removed from that general education curriculum or environment unless learning cannot be achieved even with the use of supplementary aids and services. Because of this, we created a new Supplementary Aids and Services Manual to provide guidance on what accommodations, modifications, and other supports and services are. We have provided information on determining the need for supplementary aids and services, documentation in and outside of the IEP, and most importantly, provided examples that can be referenced in creating your own individualized supplementary aids and services as part of your IEP development. We are encouraging you to move away from developing a laundry list of accommodations, such as small group accommodations, tests read aloud, or extended time on tests, and move towards the identification of accommodations, modifications, and other supports and services that are determined to be needed based on the student's eligibility and qualifying criteria and other skill deficits and barriers to learning. Identifying appropriate accommodations, modifications, or other supports and services based on data in the IEP in your PLAF provides our students with disabilities equitable access to progress in the general education curriculum and environment or in the least restrictive environment. Let's take a moment to talk about modifications. This tends to be a concern for general and special education teachers alike, yet modifications are allowable for students with disabilities who are unable to access or demonstrate proficiency in the general education curriculum. Modifications can be made to provide access to the core content level standards being taught, whereby the student is held to different curricular expectations than the rest of the students in their class. The complexity of the material the student is expected to master is provided at their instructional level. Modifications do change what the student is expected to master. It is important to note that altering curricular standards and expectations may affect a student's preparation for post-secondary success and the opportunity to earn a diploma. It's important that the special education teacher works closely with the general education teachers to make these accommodations work for the student. We have great examples of modifications in the new Supplementary Aids and Services Manual. Other things to consider are other supports and services that provide assistance, consultation, or training to adults supporting the student or coordination of activities to address a specific need. Examples of other supports and services are the development of an FBA, PBSP, an individual health care plan, parent training, an interpreter for a student or a parent as part of the IEP process, or multilingual or EL supports and services from an EL provider. As a reminder, we are training to add for the purpose of when you identify any accommodations, modifications, support for school personnel, or additional supports and services. We have several examples of accommodations and modifications, services and supports using for the purpose of. This statement will help clarify the use of the accommodation and how it provides access to the curriculum or environment. There is a lot of great information to guide your development of supplementary aids and services in the manual. Make sure to check it out before your next IEP.